The first, only the first possession of that game, and that was already hot defense that was done by Jakovele. And Salaspils with an opportunity for a break. This is going to be, whoa, and a hand block from Terra. Great awareness of that, and Terra, yes, is shaking her hand. It looks like that disc came out with a lot of force from Kublitska, but Terra, great awareness by her, and she did well to defend this disc, to earn that disc back for Tartu, who managed to score a nice point in the end zone finally. Lind to lead for the first score. It's not a clean hold, but it is a hold nonetheless. Jakovele managed to find the first defense into the first quick succession on the field, but then it was quickly taken away by a hand block of Terra. And we are on serve. Unfortunately, that disc went a little bit too far for Kublitska, and Podema and Kublitska are exchanging the looks of misunderstanding a little bit. Regardless of that, now disc is with Lepik, who I think called a little bit of a marking infraction. Lepik again, still with the disc, now finds Lasmane, goes to Nigol, who goes to Veske. Now to Lepik once again. She's surveying her options, but Salaspils is covering all of the runners pretty well. Finds Nigol, Veske, Terra with the disc. Nigol once again. To Lasmane, who can't really find anyone, and finds Terra in the end, who makes a great upline cut for a score in the end zone. That is a 1-1. Apologies for a few technical issues in the beginning of the game. I think now we are running, but we couldn't start the stream a little bit earlier. For me to tell you, welcome back to the Baltic Ultimate Club Championship indoors, where we see a women's match between Tartu Ultimates taking on Salaspils Frisbija Club, the powerhouse of Latvia, who unfortunately turning that disc over. Orlovska could not grab that disc early, and unfortunately when she did catch it, it was already out of bounds, and that gives an opportunity for Tartu Ultimate, apologies, for a break. Lind to lead, just like the first point, same corner, same place. Yes, just like in the first point. Yeah, Tartu is doing pretty well there to convert that break. Fortunately, two breaks now. Two breaks and one offensive hold in that game for Tartu. Salaspils are still finding their gears, but looks like the early morning game for Tartu did a bit of a wonders for them, and they are now warmed up. They are ready to play, they are ready to fire, and they are ready to stay unbeaten in this tournament. They have won all of their games so far, yesterday and today, 3-1 games. Salaspils winning 2 games, so they had 1 game less by the beginning of this match. Of course, everybody gonna play everyone. And it is the last game for Tartu for their round robin. Salaspils have another game to play later today. For now, we're probably fighting for the top of the women's pool. And Salaspils, high disc, high blade to Jakovele from Podema. Very nice. Jakovele was showing us how to do all the things in the zone yesterday in their second match against DTS. Yeah, she had a great game yesterday there, and hopefully she will be able to continue with the same fire as she had yesterday. Salaspils now on defense. They will want to get a couple of these breaks back from Tartu, who managed to get a couple of early breaks. Lead and Linz are starting their handling. Oh, whoa! That was a bit of a miscommunication, but somehow, Lepik came down with it, threw it back to Linz, who managed to find Leeds in the end zone. Another point of that connection of Linz to Leeds. Yeah, these two know each other pretty well. You can definitely see that. They have the, I think it's a older edition shirts on them, the only two who have that shirt on. Interesting one, and they are connecting really well in this match. So 4-1, Salaspils are finding themselves in a bit of some early problems for them. But Podoma to Gasina, a nice blade around. Now Gasina finds Podoma. I'm not entirely sure if that was actually in, but still, players are continuing to play. Gasina and Podoma are still working. The only two players touching the disc, and Leet is knocking that away, steps in front of Podoma and reads that well. No contact created, very clean defense, very nice to see. And Leet now with a hammer to Raba, but too high, too much mustard on that throw. Too difficult to handle for Raba, who couldn't even elevate for it because it was coming right from behind her. So fortunately, humans don't have eyes on their backs, as doesn't Raba. Disc now with Jakovele. She finds Podoma. Podoma looking for her trusted handler Gasina, whom they played many a point, and Orlovska tried to grab that disc from in front of Nigol, but Nigol said no. Maybe a little bit of a contact, a bit of a... I think Nigol was a bit apologetic for that, but Orlovska realized that she could not grab that disc cleanly and let it go. Now Tartu, another opportunity for a break. Raba and Terra are working the disc well. Terra's now looking at the end zone, but the disc is still in the middle with Leet, who goes to Veske. Veske to Terra, and Leet into the end zone for another score, who snatches that disc in front of Jakovele. Yeah, that is a very, very highly contested match and a great athletic display by these ladies from Estonia and from Latvia. 5-1, early leads by Tartu. Very important in that matchup. I think Salaspils need to wake up a little bit and show us what they can do, because I'm sure that they can do a lot better than that. We all know that. We all seen them play. Podoma now fields the disc. Goes to Bernane. Bernane goes back to Podoma. Can't really find anything, any advances. Kublitska with the disc goes to Morlata, who goes to Podoma. Podoma, blade to Kublitska on the far sideline, who goes to Bernane. Great grab by Bernane there. Orlovska to Podoma. Now to Bernane, who finds herself in the acres of space, surveying her options, and finds Podoma in the end zone, pushes it in, and finally for another score. Well done by them. They are finally back on the board. It took them a while to find another offensive point, but they did pretty well. 5-2 is the score at the moment. 2 points to Salaspils, 5 to Tartu. Tartu are 3 breaks up on Salaspils, and Salaspils need to find that defensive gear, generate some turnovers, and convert some of the breaks. Tartu just need to have nice and clean possession and walk that disc into the end zone, as I'm sure they did so many a times. Disc was Nigol, who goes back to Lasmane, finds Raba. Raba, surveying her option, goes to Lasmane a little bit backwards, but still a safe choice. Veske, now under quite a lot of pressure from her defender, from Poduma. Now Raba into the end zone to Lasmane, to a Latvian import on the Estonian squad. Nice point. Very good, clean offense, just like exactly what they wanted at this point. I'm pretty sure that they would be quite happy to just trade the points off with Salaspils, because that will guarantee them the win. However, I'm pretty sure that Salaspils have other plans. They will try their best to generate some turnovers out of this Tartu side. But first, before you break, first you need to hold. And that's what Salaspils will be looking at. Gasina fields the pull, goes to Poduma. Goes back to Gasina with a blade. Gasina is trying to find something, some options. Can't really find anything, and a great cut by Poduma, who manages to shake off her defender. And once again, Poduma to Jakovele, who had quite a difficult reception in the end zone. I think she had to recatch the disc, basically, but that still works at a point. Oh, yeah, she almost lost it there. But well done by Liva Jakovele in the end zone. She's dominating that deep spaces and catching everything that goes her way. Salaspils will be looking at generating some turnovers out of Tartu now. Yeah, they're coming fast and clamping down on the first passes, but they do find Draba, who finds Leet on that near sideline. She's looking at the zone, and there is a foul called on that throw, and it is uncontested. Lasma Kublitska looks like she did hit her hand, probably with a foot, if I'm right. So Lit still fakes, finds Lintz now, who throws a hammer to Raba, who finds herself in an acres of space despite the double coverage from Orlovska and Bernane, but she had a disc in empty space in front of her, who just, she just took it nice and easy for Tartu for the halftime. Tartu winning the halftime 7-3. Just 15 minutes of the game, very fast-paced game, and looks like Tartu at the moment are setting that pace and are managing to keep up with it. Salaspils are maybe asking a bit of questions regarding what's going on and what's not working. I'm sure that this is what they are discussing in their huddle on the right side of your screens over there. We'll be back in a few seconds. I'll have a sip of my coffee and be back with you in a moment. Welcome back to the second half of the match between Salaspils and Tartu. I'm Dmitry Doroshenko calling on that game. It is the third of the 3 morning women's division games We're still in the round robin where Tartu is going undefeated, 3 wins, 0 losses, and Salaspils are also undefeated, but 2 wins and 0 losses at the moment. So probably they are contesting for the top of the pool, of the women's pool, where the top 2 will play for the championships later today. Salaspils. Oh, that is a miscommunication by Salaspils, by Podema and by Gasina, and neither of them attacked that disc. However, the Tartu player, Marin Raba, she decided to attack that space and come up with a possession, and then a nice low release backhand to Lasmane into the end zone for another break by Tartu. Yeah, the Tartu is now taking a commanding lead over there, and Salaspils are definitely asking questions and are not happy with how this game is going. They would want to refocus, regroup, maybe start thinking about the next game rather than this one. But however, I'm pretty sure that maybe they can find something and find a couple of breaks to their own. But I think with the pace with which Tartu is playing right now, it could be quite difficult. But we will see what's going to happen. For now, Orlovska with the disc. She finds resets to Podema, who fakes off Kublitska. I think Tara was a little bit too close to her. Morlata with the disc. Expensive fakes. Can't really find anything. I think there was 7, and I did hear the beginning of 8. But yes, and it is uncontested. It's an uncontested stall out. Unfortunately, Morlata released that disc a little bit too late. My opinion is unimportant. I will not share it with you. Tera is picking up the disc, finds Raba, who throws a very easy blade to lead for another break, 9-3. Yeah, Salaspils have some questions to answer. What's not working and what's going on? We see the big man, the moon catcher, Salaspils. Arvidsjanis Karklinch trying to pump his compatriots up. Help them a little bit with a bit of a moral support. Of course, it's not easy for a team who used to win quite a lot of games to find themselves into on the wrong side of the score, 9-3, but they're still fighting, and they will be fighting until the very end. This now is Orlovska. Great reception of that hammer, who needs to go back to Dudinia, who finds Gasina, another handler. Who finds Kublitska, who's running hard all over the field, and now to Bernane, who manages to hold on to that disc for another score. Finally, Salaspils is back on the board. It's been a bit of a dry season on Salaspils' side of the board, but good grab by Bernane there. Not the easiest of the catches, not the easiest of the discs, but she's doing well to hold on to it. 4-9. Salaspils finally on the board. Now they need to find some defensive pressure, run harder, run faster than their opponents. Linz to Leet. Whoa! Leet, great grab with a layout over there on the hard floor. Amazing to see that. Amazing, great display of athleticism by Leet. Lasmane now to Linz, who throws a hammer to Raba, and I've seen that quite a few times this weekend and earlier, of course, in the previous tournaments. Nice point by Raba and a nice hammer by Linz. And of course, amazing grab by Leet earlier in that point. Go back and rewatch it, and now go back to live and rejoin us later as the ladies on both sides are getting ready for the next point. And thank you to all 27 of you watching right now. Tell us what you think. Tell us who do you support in the live chat. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. If you're generous enough, be nice to the algorithms of the YouTube. Bernanen now with the disc, who pushes it to Jakovele. Looks like Jakovele, yeah, she has a nose for the end zone. I think she scored 3 out of the 5 points in this game, or maybe even 4. Yeah, she has a nose for the end zone, and she knows how to get these discs in that end zone. And that's actually, was it a break? Not sure if it was a break, but yeah, I think it was a break by Salaspils, so that's first of many, hopefully for them, and first of not so many for Tartu. Great grab again by Leeds. She's, yes, her facial expressions showed that that was not an easy catch, quite a high disc, and yeah, ooh, nice, very, very nice. And then she finds her teammate all alone in the end zone. Number 17, Ines Anetni goal with the score. 11-5, plenty of time left in this game, so Salaspils have enough time, but doesn't really matter here, though. If Tartu will score another point, we will play again to 13. If Salaspils will score, they would want to score a few breaks to extend this game, of course. Podoma now with the disc in her own end zone, gets herself out of there to Dudinia, now to Jakovele, who throws it to Kublitska on the edge of the end zone, surveying her options, can't really find anything. Goes to Orlovska, who is open in that a little bit behind Dudinia with a difficult grab there. Who goes to Kublitska, to Podema, back to Kublitska. And now to Jakovele, who scores the force of 6 points of Salaspils. Yeah, Jakovele likes being in the zone. And yeah, she's doing well in that game. Another break by Salaspils. They are finally finding their rhythm. It looks like they have finally woken up a little bit, and now they know what to do. Maybe they finally figured out how Tartu is playing and what are they doing offensively. What are they doing? Leet and Linz starting handling, then Rabe is coming under. They also find Igor. They go back to Linz, who's going to throw to Raba to the end zone, but not this time. Double coverage by the Salaspils players prevents Raba from scoring another point, and now Morlata with the disc, and whoa! Great grab by Orlovska under lots of pressure from Tera. Now disc with Bernane. Surveying her options, can't really find anything, goes back to Orlovska. Was marked by Tera. Great matchup there, I think. Morlata goes back to Orlovska. Surveying her options, finds Bernane. Bernane goes up to Kublitska, who throws a high blade to Morlata, and that went a little bit too high, I think, to Morlata, and was very difficult to handle and to grab it, and I think it was also going out of bounds. So Morlata did her best to grab it, but yeah, difficult, very difficult disc for her. Linz and Tera now starting us off, and Tera elects to call a timeout. I think wise choice by Tera. I think they need to stop the bleeding a little bit, as they've been broken twice now. They need to get back to their own rhythm once again, and try to stop that offensive pressure of Salaspils and maybe get some better offensive decisions. We'll be back. I'll be back with you in just a second after the timeout. Welcome back to Tartu versus Salaspils match. We are, as you can see, the players are setting up their offensive and defensive strategies. Looks like we're going personal defense at the moment. Terra is gonna check the disc in. Pretty sure that the stall was won when the timeout was called. Terra unfortunately could not find any advanced cuts. However, she finds Lepik, who found Linz on the doorstep, but she had to go back to lead through, whoa, quite a blade to Terra over there, who almost fell backwards there, but still manages to hold on to that disc, and maybe, oh yeah, maybe a little bit of a sun coming from the roof blinded her just a bit. Regardless of that, Terra managed to hold on to that disc for a 12-6 score. Still have quite some time there, but it is a match point. I'm sure that Salaspils are pumped and they want to extend this game for as much as possible and maybe even bring it to universe point. That may happen, of course. Craziest things have happened, but considering how Tartu prepared themselves for this game and how did they play during the previous 25 minutes of the game, that might not happen. However, before you break, first you need to hold, and hold they do. Jakovele, what a surprise. She managed to find another score, and she managed to find herself alone in the end zone. Well done. Yeah, scoring machine. No other words for her. She's doing great, of course, in that end zone. Salaspils now need to break every point. They need to break for 6 points in a row if they want to win this match, in order to win this match. But Lind and Leet are starting once again that offense, and Leet decides to go into the end zone. Difficult grab, and once again, Linz and Leet. It was only two players who touched this disc in this last point of the game. 13-7 is the result. That means that Tartu will play for the first place because they won every game in that round robin to themselves. Salaspils are going 2 wins and 1 loss, so they will still have another game to play, and we will see. Possibly they will see Tartu once again in the finals. Until then, I've been Dmitry Doroshenko calling on that game. Next up, we will bring you the pre-semi-finals between Salaspils, Wild Things, taking on Ogre, the local showdown of Salaspils and Ogre. They've been playing a lot together. Don't go anywhere. This is going to be an exciting match for a chance to play Vorai. Vorai? No, yes, Vorai in the semi-finals. Don't go anywhere, and come back in a few minutes